Darkstar One is a 6 Degrees of Freedom space shooter. It was developed by Ascaron Entertainment for PC in 2006 and later ported to the Xbox in 2010. For this review, I'm going to start off with bad. The game oozes a low-budget indie feeling. The graphics are a mixed affair of good and terrible. Basically, the ships and outer space environments look great. The rendered cutscenes and character models, on the other hand, are amateurish at best. The special effects, things like laser blasts and explosions, also leave much to be desired as well. Despite all that, the gameplay is solid and quite enjoyable. I've always been a fan of space shooters, and you can tell that devs were trying to emulate one of the most popular games of this genre to date, Freelancer. I'm glad they took this approach because Freelancer for me was one of those games that I've always wanted to fully play, but just couldn't get it to run without constantly crashing on modern operating systems. Similarity-wise, Darkstar One takes the same approach to space stations that Freelancer did. You're presented with an animated backdrop and menu options along with the edges of the screens to access things like shops, missions, and all of your quest and ship information. You can pick up non-story missions that range from cargo delivery to bounty hunting. You can also look at the travelers inbound and outbound and offer to escort them to their destinations, and occasionally special side missions will be available at certain stations that usually offer up special rewards, such as powerful weapons or addresses to new systems to explore. Through these missions, you gain a reputation that essentially labels you as either a mercenary or a pirate or a merchant. It all depends on your choices, and each class, if you will, has its positives and negatives. Character, or rather ship progression in Darkstar One is a bit different than your average space shooter. Instead of simply upgrading equipment, which you also do by the way, in this game you collect these green artifacts. Collect enough of them and your ship can transform and gain new abilities. You can choose between 3 sections of the ship to upgrade at each level. The cockpit area adds more health and turret slots. The wings add better maneuverability and front weapon slots. And the engine section adds to your energy recharge rates. When you upgrade a section, it changes in appearance. The maximum you can upgrade a section is 10 times, and since the max level is only 20, you can't fully level each section, so you need to plan out what kind of ship you want to have in advance. There is also a skill tree of sorts that you earn 1 point in each time you level up. This is a pretty neat feature. Your secondary weapon is customized by this tree. The first 2 points for everyone will be the same, but from there it branches. You can make your secondary attack do things like increase shield and weapon recharge rates, or have it shoot a shield disabling laser, or even an EMP stun effect. The only downside to the upgrading system is that it can get a bit tedious having to go into all the asteroids to gather the artifacts. The game's storyline, while nothing to write home about, I found to be enjoyable. It's a tale of revenge as you set out across the universe in pursuit of the man who killed your father, only to get tangled up in basically everyone else's problems.
Who knows? Maybe she'll become the most powerful ship in the universe. Your father knew this, and this was probably the reason why he was addicted. Approach it. Your ship will automatically absorb...
Darkstar One is available on both Steam and GOG for the cheap price of $9.99, and Amazon.com lists the Xbox 360 version at $16.95. And even though the game does have flaws, it's definitely a fun game to waste some time with.